Lazerboy, what is the secret of your powers?
All right, guys. Hey, and welcome back to the Lazerboy podcast. This is going to be a special episode. This is the results of the box office bets that we had earlier this year or earlier last year of 2023, wherein we bet on the top 10 worldwide box office gross of the year, and kind of a rough game because we had to wait a whole year for the results there. But let's get into our results. And I'm your host, the Lazerboy, and I joined here with, of course, as usual, my co-host Stephen Bess. How you doing, Stephen?
Hey, pretty good.
And we got the gang here together, rounded out with Chris G. How you doing? Chris?
Very good. How about yourselves?
Very well. I'm very excited to go through the winners with you guys. I know you guys, I was trying not to spoil it for Steven but Steven probably already deduced. But so I was gonna make it, kind of a nice little cliffhanger reveal here. But we already know who won. But let's not reveal it for our audience members, the two people listening,
Absolutely.
or less. But let me ask you guys first, where do you think you went wrong, and what would you have done differently? Well, obviously that's going to be the obvious answer, but please, Chris, you go first.
For me, underestimating the power of Barbie.
Uh-huh.
Was expecting decent with it, but nowhere near the acclaim that it received, and well deserved as well. Mm-hmm. Let alone doing a combination of Oppenheimer with it to create the Barbenheimer effect.
Mm-hmm.
Did not expect the internet wave for that, and it was fantastic. Just seeing it all play out live as they debuted.
Right. How about you, Stephen?
I gotta say the same thing. Now that those movies were on my list, did not really. Thought hard about the list, putting it together. Didn't really think twice about those two movies, and they were like, the two the lucky horses that came out of nowhere to win the race.
Mm-hmm.
by furlongs. I think the other thing I also did that I wish I could undo, and we can talk about this. Too much over-reliance on Marvel, and the underestimating the perhaps the comic book fatigue setting in.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you guys make great points there about Barbenheimer. Yes, and usually on a year that wasn't hindered by the writer's strike, and pre-pandemic it would have been Marvel, Disney. But we underestimated, the disruption of the status quo being, Barbie and Oppenheimer, just like IP that came out of nowhere, right? And our over-reliance on, all my DC movies tanked, right? All the DC movies tanked, so all of our picks for DC movies, we got 0 points.
Yeah.
Mainly, also, like Ant-Man or Indie. We all got 0 points for those as well, so that didn't really help. So cool, yeah. Let's just get to the third place. Whoever came in third, shall we, guys?
Yeah.
Unless you guys have anything else to add.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So number 3. I think I knew I was gonna be number 3. I came in. So the Lazerboy Joseph came in third place. My biggest tank here was obviously Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible. I put that number 1. I was trying to be, a disruptor. I thought, of course, I knew all the top movies were gonna place, but I wanted something to put me ahead. Like I didn't want to just be different for different sake, and also I was cruising. See what I did there?
Very, very much so.
Off of the success of Top Gun Maverick, right? Which I was.
No, I thought that was a good reason to pick that. I think that was on my list too. I thought that was a good reason to pick it.
Right. Yeah. You and Chris both had it like number 2 or 3.
Yep.
I believe Chris, you had it number 2. So
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be a lot bigger than it actually wound up being.
yeah, right. So I got 3 points for that because it wound up being, and I'm going by Box Office Mojo here. Their worldwide box office omits the 2 Chinese films because these are the all the American worldwide box office grosses. So going through that, from that, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning came in 8, making a little over $500 million, which is a loss for it because it costs like $300 million to produce, right? So I got 3 points for Mission Impossible. I got 8 points for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I put at number 2, and it came in number 4. Number 3 was Super Mario Brothers movie. I got 9 points for that. It came in number 2. I put it at number 3. Flash, I get 0 points. Indy 5, Indy 5, I got 0 points. Fast 10, I got 9 points. Aquaman, I get 0 points. Little Mermaid, I got 9 points because I placed it at 8 and it was number 7. Ant-Man 3, I got 0 points. And here's my other disastrous pick at number 10. Haunted Mansion, I got 0 points.
Which in hindsight was not a bad movie whatsoever.
Oh, you guys saw it?
I saw it.
I
really
didn't get a
enjoyed
chance to
it.
see that one.
Did you see it, Chris?
It looked- I didn't. I really wanted to too because it looked like it was at least going to be interesting, but I just didn't get the time when it was in theaters. And then even now on Disney Plus, I still haven't. But with my son, it's a little harder to also try and find time to see certain movies at home more easily now.
Right. Awesome. So before I move on to number 2, let me just point out real quick where I think I went wrong. Obviously, Haunted Mansion and Mission Impossible cost me a lot of points. All my 0 points that I picked, obviously, I wish I could have taken back. All the stuff that placed like mid, like Fast 10, I put at number 6, got me 9 points. Super Mario Brothers got me 9 points. Little Mermaid got me 9 points. And the second highest I got was Guardians, got me 8 points. So I guess those are where I went right. And I guess I mentioned this before, but yeah, all my DC picks, I, in hindsight, regret. Obviously, we were thinking of what came before, what made money in past years, right? And they historically do well, so that's why I picked them, and I was wrong. So there you have it. Okay, Steven's picks. Steven, you got 9 points for Super Mario Brothers at number 1.
All right.
Yeah, it came in number 2 worldwide, right? Behind Barbie, which none of us got. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, you got 8 points at number 2. Mission Impossible 7, you got 5 points because you put it at number 3. Good going. You only missed it by 5 spots there. Aquaman 2, 0 points. Did you guys see Aquaman 2, by the way?
I haven't seen it, actually.
Have you seen it, Chris?
I have not.
Yeah, I heard it did terribly, so. And people are pretty much over the DC universe. It's hard to watch those movies knowing that the DC EU is dead, right?
I'll still probably try to catch it on. I'm sure it'll be on Max at some point. It'll be streaming. But literally, it was funny because when I went down a couple of weeks ago when I went to Orange County, when I was in Orange County for a couple of days, and Joseph and I fortunately didn't get to meet up, but driving through like Lee Vining, California, there was a little theater in this one street town, and it was playing Aquaman on all 2 screens.
Oh, right.
And like 4 days later, driving back through town, it was Migration and The Boatman. Aquaman was literally already out of theaters.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And like over the course of a weekend.
That's a bad, terrible sign there. Right. So I failed to mention, I got 38 points total going back to Steven's picks. Yeah, The Little Mermaid, you got 9 points. You put it at number 6. It came in at number 7. Fast 10, you got 8 points. It came in, you put it at number 7. It came in at number 5. Ant-Man 3, 0 points. Indy 5, 0 points. And Transformers of the Beast, 0 points. So your highest points came from Super Mario Brothers, Guardians of the Galaxy, The Little Mermaid, and Fast 10.
All right.
None of us, except for Chris, got a 10-point total for one pick.
Wow.
So
Wow.
most of me and Steven just got 9. 3 number 9s, I believe. And then both of us got at least 4 or 5 spots that had 0 points. I think Chris had a few that had 0 too, but you just edged us. It all came pretty close. You edged us by 2 points. So Steven point total came in at 39 points. So he beat me by 1 point. Good job, Steven.
Thank you.
And to the winner, to the victor, go the spoils. Did I say that right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I just say things that sound correct, but they're not the correct way of saying them. So please correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So before I get to Chris, where do you think you went wrong, Stephen? There when
I said, I think I too much of the Marvel and DC. I did not expect so much the comic book fatigue was going to set in.
Mm-hmm.
Which it really did. And we talked about in other podcasts and conversations, though, it really is, it has been a very changing time for the industry with streaming and whatnot and audience taste. And then you throw in, like you said, a writer and actor's strike, and things were just kind of topsy-turvy this last year.
Yeah. What picks do you most regret?
Oh... I regret overlooking Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah, none of us could have seen that coming, though.
Only because I think Barbie should have been a clear choice. It has so much appeal for so many, both not just girls, but women, girls, boys, and across so many different generations that have grown up with the toys, which was kind of my thinking about, Mario. I figured, people like Chris and myself and probably you, we all grew up playing Mario, and now like Chris as a kid and might want to take his kids to go see the movie, et cetera, et cetera. And, the other thing is with Oppenheimer, too, because I love Christopher Nolan, and I love the story of Oppenheimer and the Manhattan Project and the making of the bomb. I actually have a copy of American Prometheus, and the thing is huge. It's like the size of a brick. It weighs a ton. And I couldn't imagine audiences going, woohoo, let's take this PhD history level textbook and turn it into a movie that's a not so feel good story of the coming of the atomic age and nuclear disaster, the potential for World War III. That's going to be a box office smash. But again, top 2 highest grossing movies of the year, so shows what I know.
Yeah, none of us could have seen Barbie or Oppenheimer coming. Those are sleeper hits, and just kind of an anomaly that we get each year. So,
Yeah,
but
totally.
I meant, what picks do you think you could have taken back? It looks like the Marvels and
probably the Marvels, Ant-Man, and Transformers. I don't know what I was thinking about with that, honestly.
Yeah, no,
Other than the franchise has been successful in the past,
right? Yeah, you were riding the MCU success train, and you were
Right.
expecting the same results.
But eventually, I think those trains have to they got to run out of steam. They run out of momentum, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at what took the place of those, and it seems like it's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Wonka and Elemental, and Barbie and Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer came in third overall. It came like $50 million short of $1 billion there. I think it's gonna have like a re-release, so I think they're trying to push it over the $1 billion mark there.
I think it very well could, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Chris's. And I'm gonna list your here. You got 41 points total, and then I'm gonna ask you what you think of your list and what you would have changed there, right, Chris?
All right.
Number 1, you got Super Mario Brothers, 9 points, just like Steven. Mission Impossible, you got 4 points. Guardians of Galaxy Volume 3, 9 points. You put the Marvels pretty high up here too, number 4 at 0 points. And here's where you got 10 points dead on here with Fast 10 at number 5. Good job there.
Okay.
Little Mermaid, 9 points. You put at number 6, came in 7. And your final, your bottom 4, you got 0 points with Ant-Man 3, Indy 5, Aquaman 2, and Transformers. So, you bottom 4, you got 0 points, but Fast 10, and you got 9 points there, put you over the top there. So, thoughts and regrets,
Well,
Chris?
admittedly, same thing. I was thinking that a lot of the Marvel films would do much better than they actually did, and yeah, I just didn't expect the fatigue to set in that quickly. But the shows, I think, all helped add to it because a lot of the shows have all been mixed reception with them. It's not really a clear hit with most of them, and it's not really a clear complete miss. But a lot of them just aren't sitting as well with audiences as like the movies would.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And Marvel, I honestly thought that it could have had potential. I think at that time they already had some publicity going around, but it still was minimal at best. And at the time of the list, I don't think Barbie was really much on the radar. I think maybe they had a couple posters, but they were very generic. There wasn't a whole lot of released at that time that I can recall. But as more trailers and everything came out later on in the year, it was like, oh, okay, this looks interesting. So I think that could have been a part of the factor for why I didn't select Barbie as a contender for the top 10 at that time. And Oppenheimer just wasn't thinking because it's like, who's really going to go out and see a biopic? Not really a biopic, but just a historical picture.
Right.
Doesn't have the same track record with box office like a lot of these other films, and I'm happy to see that upset on there. Just it really shows the industry that we need more of unique ideas, not just keep rehashing the franchises or rebooting them, because we do want original ideas going around and seeing original things.
Yeah. All right. Well, very well said, and congratulations, Chris. Let's give Chris a round of applause for getting number 1 there, guys.
Yay!
Woohoo! And he won the contest, so he has the choice of picking a movie for us to review. And do you have that choice yet, Chris?
Yeah, I think I will go with Indiana Jones, just because I think it actually covers a lot of different bases, because it is part of a major IP. And it also was one that was expected that could have potential at the box office, but wound up being a big flop with audiences, at least as far as the industry is concerned.
Yeah.
Because all in all, I enjoyed the film. I thought it was good fun. It was better than The Crystal Skull, but I didn't think it was anywhere near as good as like The Last Crusade goes as far as a capstone to Indy.
Mm-hmm.
It was complacent enough to where you're satisfied, but you still wish things were different or that they maybe could have gone a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. Do you have any qualms with that, Steven, to review Indy 5?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I know you're a huge indie guy as well. So
I was going to say, I've got some very strong opinions about the film. I know Chris is a very strong-minded Indiana Jones fan as well. So it sounds good to me.
yeah, I remember when we were back in our TV lesson days, we all interned at this this company, which is since disbanded or whatever you call it, closed shop. But
were they even a real company?
was it a real? I think there was just it was like a startup. It was like WeWork, and it had so much potential, and then it just crash landed. I don't know what the CEO is still doing, but yeah, we all met with each other, and I remember, Chris, you wore like the fedora or the Stetson, and you had the jacket. Yeah. You had the jacket, so you came like cosplayed as him one day for like a shoot or something. What am I remembering? What am I misremembering?
I'm trying to remember on that. I can't recall of coming in as him. I mean, the jacket I just wear all the time. Anyway.
Oh, right, yeah.
But the fedora, I actually do have an Indiana Jones fedora, and I actually do cosplay as him at conventions.
Oh, very cool.
but I'm trying to remember for TV lesson if had actually come in with the fedora or anything. I know I would wear a leather hat from time to time when it rained, and that hat unfortunately has since disappeared into the streets of San Francisco somewhere.
Oh man. Oh, maybe it was at school because you and I went to Cass Fullerton, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's somewhere at school. I can't remember, but I know you have that get up. So good on you. Well, before we end the episode, thank you guys for playing. By the way, it was really fun. We're not gonna do this again because we didn't really get a lot of good engagement with it. It's probably my fault. Yeah, it's probably my fault because
it was. I'm so ashamed of myself. It was humiliating.
no. I'm a sore loser, guys. But if it had good engagement and people were like, responding well to it, I would have done another one for sure. But let's just for fun, for fuck's sake. I don't know again if I'm doing that right.
And let's face it, you lost tremendously.
I lost by 3 points. You lost by 2. It was a close game. All right.
All right.
You bastard.
Sorry, I'm just doing a little bit. That's a little bit of my Drax there.
Oh, all right. All right.
Stating the obvious.
Exactly. Off the top of your guys' head, what do you think? You don't have to do a top 10 for next year, but what do you think will make the most money next year, or top 3 or something?
I don't even know.
What's coming out?
Just because, like I said, honestly, last year I was pretty certain. I didn't think I was necessarily going to win, but I thought we were all going to do better than we did. And this year, I don't even really know what's coming out, to be honest.
Well, we all put like Super Mario Brothers and Guardians pretty high, so that was the closest thing. So let me name some movies just from the summer, so you guys get an idea. What is it? No, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes coming in May. Furiosa, the Mad Max standalone spin-off coming out. Inside Out 2, Bad Boys 4. Despicable Me 4 looks probably like it'll be top 5. Deadpool 3 I think will make top 5.
Deadpool, I think, yeah.
Deadpool's definitely going to have potential.
It's going to be rated R. Go ahead.
I think what's going to happen with Deadpool, I think not only because obviously the first 2 movies been really standout features. I think the fact that there are no other comic book releases, we're still going to see there's going to be a large portion of the audience, i.e. us, that are going to be hungry for that sort of movie.
Yeah. Plus, it's Deadpool. Deadpool as a character, he goes outside the bounds of all the other.
Right. And with Logan bringing Hugh Jackman back, is there so much they can do there?
It's the only Marvel Studios film coming out next year, so that's going to probably place a lot of importance on it and a lot of scarcity. But Deadpool 2 made a little less than $800 million, and it doesn't have the 4-quadrant appeal of like typical MCU films because it's going to be rated R. But I think that's going to change because of it's in the MCU now, and they have a whole bunch of toys they can play with now. That they have they have the rights to so many other things. Loki's going to be in it. Oh, sorry if I'm spoiling anything for you guys.
No. I've already heard. Yeah. No.
Okay.
It's gonna be bonkers.
All right, so let me list some other movies. Twisters, Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez. Craven the Hunter. I don't think the Sony Marvel movies are doing that well.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Fortunately, they're going to end up doing that one justice.
Venom 3. Either. Do you think it has any?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that has any potential to make top 10?
No.
No.
Again, the Sony-based Spider-Man movies just don't have that much. I mean, even I'm not really interested in seeing Madam Web.
Right.
I could wait on. I want to see Craven and Venom 3, but I could wait till they stream easily.
Madame Web, what is she like? She like is the head of a house of spider hookers or what?
Yes, exactly.
Madame Web.
Yes.
The fuck is
Wasn't
that?
she a Hydra initially, like a Hydra knockoff of? They tried to recreate Spider-Man, and because that was, I remember Scarlet Spider was when they tried to clone him, and that was with Ben Riley or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Venom: Let There Be Carnage only made $500 million, so I don't think it's gonna make top 10 at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2. Any Denzel Washington? Obviously, no. Who's the original guy?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Right. Yeah. He died in the first one, right?
And Joaquin Phoenix. Everyone pretty much died in the first one.
I forgot that came out like 25 years ago, so I only saw it.
Yeah, it did. 2001, because that and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon were the first 2 DVDs I ever bought.
Oh, nice. Oh, Pedro Pascal's in it. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
No chance for that movie to be top 10, guys?
I don't think top 10. It might be maybe top 20, but
yeah.
that's about
because only, I mean, it's I'll go see it because it's Ridley Scott, and I do love me a Ridley Scott film, but again, it's not. It's one of those weird movies that's neither like an original. It's not a franchise, but it's also like it's still an IP that's been done before. You know, it's like, so how much excitement can they really get going for a new.
Yeah.
You know what I hope? 2 movies that I think could do well, and I hope they do well. Certainly. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
Yeah, it doesn't have a good track record in the gross box office area. They made like 300 million or something like that. So
right. I'm hoping though maybe this one gets a bump though from the last one.
Okay, let me list some more in December, and then you guys can give me what you think will be the top grossing film. Okay, The Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohirrim. I guess it's another. I don't know where that takes place. But it's not directed by Peter Jackson. Kenji Kamiyama, Brian Cox, Miranda Otto are in it. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I don't know what Sonic 2 made. Untitled 6th Karate Kid film with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio. And Mufasa the Lion King, directed by Barry Jenkins. That's going to be maybe one of 2 live action Disney films, you know? So I know that studio has been hindered by the writer's strike tremendously. So it could gain traction because I think it's in December. It's not gonna have a lot of competition, and people love Disney. I mean, you still can't count Disney out. Disney. Let's look at. So, what's your number one? You think?
I didn't hear this one on the list, but isn't the next Into the Spider-Verse movie coming out next year as well?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, that could be another big one if it does.
Yeah, if it does, I think that could very well be number 1, if not maybe top 5.
Yeah.
And Dune Part 2 also comes out next year, I think.
Yeah, I don't see it making top 10. Because just the track record of it is like a really expensive art house movie, essentially. Right. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have that appeal, but no, a good. Thank you for mentioning it because I failed to mention. Yeah, Spider-Verse coming out in March. Something. Oh yeah, and I failed to mention. Yeah, I forgot to look at some March picks, but yeah, so Spider-Man would be on your guys' list maybe, and then Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Do you think?
Yeah, that could be a big one. Yeah.
Monsterverse. Yeah, Monsterverse hasn't been in the theaters lately, right? What was the last one? Like Godzilla v Kong came out during like the pandemic, right?
Yeah, but they've got the Apple show, Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah, I've seen it. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. And then we have Godzilla -1. It had just recently released, so that's definitely going to help fuel the Godzilla.
Sure.
Again.
Right.
It doesn't take place in the same universe, but yeah, it still is kind of Godzilla IP, and they're staying relevant. So, and I think people are clamoring for. I think the reason people don't go to theaters a lot is because, you know, they need huge spectacle like this, and that's going to be just another incentive to go. But the only thing that I don't like is the cast list. Not a lot of huge A-listers. It's Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, Dan Stevens, and a bunch of other names that you guys will probably don't know who they are. So that's the only reason I probably don't think it's going to do well. But then again, they're not really who we come to see anyway, right? The stars are Godzilla and Kong, right? All right. So what was your pick, Chris?
Oh, the Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, that's going to be your number one?
Yeah, I think that will be.
Okay, great. What about you, Steven?
I'd have to agree with Chris on that. Yeah.
Okay. I would either go with a safe route and say like Despicable Me 4 or something, just because I don't want to go by my heart. I'm just going to go by the numbers. But I also think Deadpool 3, just because it's a year of Marvel fatigue, and it's going to be the only one, And of course, and just like Steven said, it's got Logan teaming up with Deadpool. It seems like a mini team up Avengers movie already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna have all these crazy misadventures, and it's gonna be like almost like unrated. It's gonna be rated R, So it's gonna be like something different to shake things up in the MCU, and something that they kind of sorely need right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't. I want to be safe and say Despicable Me 4, but closely second is Deadpool 3 for me. Awesome, guys.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for joining me. Anything else you guys want to add about the next year of films or any this contest in general?
I don't know. I mean, we shall see what the next year brings.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining me. This is a very short episode. That is atypical of us. We usually ramble on, but it's past Steven's bedtime here, so...
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you accommodating my bedtime.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Do you guys have any social media that you want to plug? Where people can find you or your work?
I'm on both TikTok and Instagram, at Gundam Vader. My TikTok, I'll sometimes just post some random videos, but my Instagram is mostly just my daily life stuff.
Awesome. And you, Steven?
Yeah, same thing. SMS.
On Instagram?
Yeah,
Facebook?
on TikTok.
Oh, you're on TikTok as well?
Yeah.
What do you post on your TikTok?
Not a whole lot.
All right. Well, you can find those guys there. And find more episodes of the Lazerboy podcast on YouTube. Just type in the Lazerboy with a Z. And we're also on Instagram. We're at the Lazerboy, but the O in the boy is a 0. And I think that's all you're going to find us at, because my Facebook got shut down. So, and I'm not going to bring it back, because what's the point?
Mischievous actions.
Damn that Zuck.
Right.
And Meta.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining me for Box Office Bets 2023, the one and only
right.
contest we'll have. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome, guys. And we will see you guys later.
All right.
Have a good night, y'all.
Adios.
Steven, can you can bring us out with the
yeah,
theme song?
Lazerboy, what is the secret of your powers?
Very good, sir. Thank you once again.
No problem. That's pretty much all I'm here for.
Isn't that awesome, Chris?
That is awesome. I have to refrain really hard from laughing during that.
We can let it all out now, my friend.